Crazy D's Auto Sales. Yes, what would you like to know about it? Runs excellent. Not a drop. Perfectly dry underneath. Like new. Tires are like new, drives like new, looks like new, interior's like new. It is worth every dime, if not a little bit more than what we're asking. The best. The lady that had it drove it to church on Sundays, took excellent care of it, met every service, never missed a date. Like I said, it is a fine running machine. Anytime you want, come on up here. We'd be glad to show it to you. Well, very good. We'll see you then. Thank you, sir. Sucker born every day.
Hi, welcome to my lair. I'm the Car Wizard, and you usually see me on Hoovie's Garage. Recently there have been more and more requests for me to have my own channel, so here it is. This is my first video, so please don't beat me up too bad on the comments. While Hoovie finds the cheapest high-end car in the country with issues that I get to diagnose and repair, this channel will focus on me helping you to keep your car on the road, share some of my secrets for getting the title Wizard. My days of being a mechanic started when I was very small, like 10 years old, and took apart my parents' lawnmower. I soon discovered that taking off the bolts was a lot easier than putting it back together again and making it run. Fast forward to after high school, and I enlisted in the military for 3 years. I was in the Army, and I was a tank mechanic. It was my first time working on multi-million-dollar machines, Bradley fighting vehicles, Abrams tanks, and things of that like. After the Army, I worked for various shops in the Wichita area until I decided to open my own place. Shortly after my first shop opened in 2009, I was on a Mercedes forum, Peach Parts, and found this guy who needed cars worked on. And that's how I started working on Hoovie's cars. After about a year, I found that shop was entirely too small, so I worked with another friend in his shop until I found a better location. In 2016, I found the spot in Halstead and opened Omega Auto Clinic. By then, Hoovie was getting more cars, had started his YouTube channel, and started filming the show. So I grew that building pretty quick, within a year. This time I decided to find a bigger building, and I found this behemoth of a building just down the road in Newton. I shouldn't outgrow this building, and the key word is shouldn't. Today's episode is going to address the second most popular question I'm asked as a mechanic. Should I buy this car or that car? My salesman Dave is going to help today and has agreed to play the part of the shady car salesman. So anyways, we have here a Yukon. I'm going to go over it with you as if we're going to buy the vehicle. I'm going to show you some things to look for. Okay, so say you've arrived at the vehicle you're interested in and you've got the hood open and there sits the engine. Many people out there look under the hood and not even sure what they're looking at. So I'm here going to show you some things to look at and some red flags. The first thing you want to do is, most of us will be familiar with the engine oil dipstick. It's usually yellow. You want to pull that out. As you can see, it's probably about a quart low of fluid. This is engine oil. You want to look at the condition of the oil, see if it's really black, really dark. This looks like it's probably due for an oil change, but it's not been abused or anything. It's a little bit low on fluid, but it's nothing here concerning that's going to say something's wrong. The transmission fluid, we don't necessarily need the car running. We're just going to look at the condition of the fluid. If it's brown, you could even smell it. If it smells like burned plastic, something that's really foul, there's probably been overheated or something's wrong with the transmission. It should be bright red or maybe a little bit orange, but it shouldn't be dark brown. It shouldn't look like engine oil. As you can see, it's pretty red. It's pretty clean. It smells fairly decent. Here we have the coolant reservoir. I'm going to take the cap off, kind of take a peek inside of it, just make sure there's nothing floating. If there's a bunch of stuff floating on the top, it may have added an additive to try and hide a leak. Look at the bottom of the cap. Does it have a bunch of gunk on it? It should be full of clean antifreeze up to the full cold line or somewhere thereabouts. If it looks clean and green or red or whatever color fluid it has in it, pink, then you probably could move on to the next thing. And so we're going to go ahead and open the door. You want to take a look and see if it's rusted, if it's damaged. Look at the hinges and see if there's any issues going on there. Another thing you can look for is actually kind of weird, but cobwebs. If a vehicle's been sitting for a long time, they're going to have spider webs. Sitting in my barn, it's been sitting in my garage for a year, blah, blah, blah. There's always spider webs. The engine bay you could check, but that'll give you an indication. This vehicle's been sitting for quite a while, and why. Started, and we're going to listen. It's basically just going to sit and listen for any loud knocking or tapping or scraping, any kind of noises abnormal that you might hear. This particular vehicle sounds pretty good. It sounds smooth and quiet. Okay, so the next thing, we're going to look into the vehicle history. You want to check the glove box. There might be service records. There might see if the owner's manual is there, and who knows what you'll find in there. Like, I don't know what the hell that is. It looks like an artificial heart. It's dripping everywhere. I don't even know what that goes to. I don't even know why it's in there. I hope no one was murdered or something bad happened. It looks like an artificial heart or something. Here's a 600 SL. These are kind of rare. You don't see these every day. Wow, this one's nice.
Welcome to Crazy D's Auto Sales. How can I help you today?
I'm just here shopping around, looking at what you got for sale here. It's a nice Rolls over there.
Well, I tell you what, this is the buy of the day right here. This thing, we got it marked way down. It runs like a top. It's a straight, nice machine.
I was actually kind of looking at this one. This one's pretty nice right here.
Well, that one's great and everything, but this is the buy. This is going to, I mean, when you figure in everything with this thing, the luxury and quality of the machine, you're going to be up 10 grand ahead. You'd be losing money not to buy this thing.
That one looks like it's been in a fire.
Well, it's had a few issues, but it'll buff out, a little cleanup.
Buff out?
Yeah, buff out. You get a good detail shop, come in, clean this thing up for you. You have a nice machine.
What can you tell me about this Mercedes right here? What's the asking price on this one?
But I don't really know. It's just come in here. It's new. I'm not really for sure much about it, but I'm telling you, this is the machine for you today. This is what you're wanting.
I don't know if I want that. I don't even know if that thing would run, man.
Oh, it runs like a top. Now, I don't have the keys with me right now, but I guarantee you my boys could have this thing cruising down the road in no time for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. I was actually kind of interested in this one. I was going to look at the service history on it.
Well, we could definitely go in the office and look that up for you. But I tell you what, if we go in right now, we could get this written up for you and have you on your way in no time.
Okay, so here's red flag number one. I'm interested in this vehicle here, this Mercedes 600 SL. He keeps trying to pawn this thing off on me. You can look at it, we know there's something wrong with it, but there could be a vehicle that doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. If they keep coming back to the same vehicle over and over, there's a reason. They want to pawn it off on you, and they want you to drive off in it, and it's their headache gone off their lot, and now you're stuck with it. But I'm really interested in this car.
Well, let's take a look at it. There's not a lot I know about it. It's fresh on the lot, but we'll take a peek.
So, I'll check the trunk and see if it's clean in there, and oh my God.
That's okay. You didn't see nothing. I told Vinny to clean this thing out.
What was that? Who is that?
That's nothing. Don't worry about it.
There's
Let's take a look
somebody
at the
in.
interior.
Are they alive?
We'll figure that out later. Let's look at the interior.
I don't know, man. Somebody's in there.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. Let's check out the interior.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
So there's lesson number 2. Obviously, you're probably not going to find a dead body in a trunk. But if you come across something that just totally is like, what is going on here? Something that's in this situation, I would leave the lot. Probably call the police. I mean, what in the world was that dude doing in there anyway?
Let's go ahead and open that up. Look at how nice and shiny that motor is.
What's going on here?
Again, I just believe that, you know, a person like to carry a few extra pints with him. You never know, you know.
Goodness, there's like 5 of them.
Well, you know.
Well, he must be just going through it like water.
Well, I doubt that. I'm sure it's just extra, you know. You buy a container, you put a few extra underneath the hood. No big deal.
This isn't even the right fluid for this car.
Well, I will have to check the service history and see if it's actually ever been used. But, you know, it could just be extra stuff sitting underneath here.
Something ain't
Nothing
adding
else.
up here, man. You open the hood and there's bottles everywhere. I don't understand that.
You know, it's hard to say. We have to check the service history, but you know, I'm pretty sure that this is just extra stuff sitting underneath there. It doesn't mean anything to the car.
Window and door trim sealant. What's
Well,
up with that?
I have no idea.
What was he trying to seal up on here?
Well, again, like I said, we might check the service history, but you know, I wouldn't worry too much about that. That isn't really important.
Okay, you just took it out of my hand. Okay, well,
We'll hold on to that for you.
oh, yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm not liking what I see here. I think I'm going to look at a few other cars. I got some on my list that's further down the road. I think I'm going to...
I tell you what, before you leave the lot today, you know, I think you should come in and sit down with me. We'll sit down and go over the paperwork and
There's
stuff.
stuff falling off while you're talking.
Well, you know, it's an older car. You know, you get a little wear and a little tear on them. They're not all shiny and perfect, but
Well, this one needs a little work. As you can see here, we went over the third and final scenario. You go to open the hood, you go to open the trunk, anywhere, and you find bottles of fluids, transmission fluid, engine oil. Very likely something's going on, and believe me, I've seen this many times. Thanks for watching today, and press that subscribe button below if you want to see more of the Car Wizard, and wait for another episode by the Car Wizard.
so let me show you some of these cars down this way. Come on over here.
I think I'm good. I don't want any of the cars you have for sale here today, not after what I've seen.